All right, sports nonsense and whiskey fans. It's Smack Talking Raw. I'm your boy Pinky. Oh, we got Ron Stradamus in the house.
What's up, Pinky? How you doing, man?
Oh man, I am so good, brother. I feel so loved. It's been I had such a great weekend. The week has started off right. I'm on vacation now, so it's all good, buddy.
Take me with you, bro. Take me with you, man.
Come on.
We had a great time. We spent both days of WrestleMania with each other, which was incredible. And I actually got the chance to spend some time with your wife, too. So I got the whole Pinkerton family under wraps, man.
You had the whole clan except for my boys in the house.
Right.
We got both my daughters came out both nights, and then I brought my pops on night 2. I know he's the why I watch wrestling, right? Back in the 80s, he put on wrestling. Him and I watch. Mom hates wrestling, so she go do whatever moms do and leave us alone. And then that's what got me and my buddy Alex into like we talked about, doing some figure 4 leg locks and sharpshooters and slamming each other on the bed. And I'm so excited I get to go see that guy this week. So I'm really excited to go on vacation and see my boy Alex and talk some wrestling. And it was I can't thank you enough for being such a great host, Ron, and having us over. It was awesome, man. It was awesome to have the camaraderie and the excitement, the booing, the cheering, the high-fiving. What a great weekend.
Yeah, I've been really last year I was at WrestleMania 40, so we didn't get a chance to hang out last year, but I think that and actually we're talking about NOLA next year, so let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Anybody out there that's watching us out in Smack Talk and Raw, what we want to do is we want to get a conglomerate together because we can get a better package together. So we're looking to get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you are enjoying what we're doing here on Smack Talk and Raw, put the word out because we could use the support. We're 3 episodes. This is our 3rd episode, and we're only going to keep getting better and better at talking about WWE wrestling, whether it be on SmackDown, Raw, and today we're going to talk about WrestleMania. So let's get it.
Oh, buddy. All right. Well, let's chop it up a little bit about WrestleMania. I don't know about you, but I've listened to a lot of the media that I listen to. Santi, no, not Sam Wrestling, the Busted Open podcast. Everyone has a lot of different opinions, and I would say that some folks are not as excited about what happened as maybe I am. So, as we kind of started out night 1, we had Jay Uso versus Gunther, and what would you think about that?
Having had a chance to go back and look at the match and everything like that. Oh my goodness. That was a stinker. The whole, like, Jey Uso winning was predictable. And in him winning the match, Gunther tapped out like on a very, very, very weak submission hold, if at best, right? And so when I look back at that match, the fire that they were trying to put into Jey to make it like, I'm back to the way I used to be when I was in the bloodline, it didn't really show up for me. It showed up more of like Jey being nervous and that he doesn't really fit in as the champion of the World Wrestling Entertainment environment. That's what I was left with.
Yeah, I was I was conflicted. I knew we talked about it. Jey was going to win, right? Jey's putting out, like, right now, every Raw, you can count on it. At some point in the show, you're going to have Jey Uso coming from the stands. Everybody's yeeting. McAfee's up there yeeting. Everybody's having a good time. It's fun. My daughter gets up. We yeet together. It's fun. And that's why I knew. I was like, okay, he's going to win. They got to put him over. I don't know how long this title reign will be. It looked, Gunther carried that match for the most part. He did a good job. I don't know who wrote in the quick tap. Like, the choke Gunther put on Pat McAfee this week on Raw was better than the choke that Uso had on him. you know. And I felt like that was where everything else of the match was pretty, what I thought was going to be okay, right? It wasn't amazing, but I didn't think it was awful. But for me, it was the tap out, because to me, this guy beat the crap out of your brother. This guy has beat you multiple times. This guy's beat you down. He's talked shit about you. He's done all these things to you, and he gets off the hook by just a quick tap. Like, there was no, I'm going to hold on longer. There was no, like, again, I think they should have wrote it to where Gunther doesn't tap out. He passes out.
Passed out like Stone Cold. Yeah.
Right. And therefore Gunther doesn't lose that, doesn't show that weakness. And Gunther doesn't have, he's still got the aura about him. Because I still think Gunther's, again, one of the best heels in the game. And I love watching Gunther wrestle. He is a fantastic wrestler. He reminds me a lot of JBL. I know you know that reference. So he reminds me a lot of him. And, I know he's supposed to be the bad guy, but I like him. And I just, that quick tap, it really messed with me, man. It really did. I was kind of in my feels about that, because I do like Jay and I do like Gunther a lot. But that just, to me, was not the way to end the match. Even if he doesn't choke him, like something, there had to be some retribution for what he had done to Jay over that, 3-month lead up. And I don't think we really got that.
Yeah, we didn't really get a lot of anything. And this is, Triple H was lauded for his booking when he first took over in this new regime. And one of the things I'm really present to is that now he's gotten real lazy with regards to his booking. I was talking to you about they should have had Jey Uso get hurt and John Cena been the one responsible for it. They could have given Jey Uso the title on the back end of this, and it would have been a lot more impactful than giving it to him here, because even though he can get the crowd rowdied up with regards to the yeet movement and everything, that's only going to last for so long before people are like, I want a champion that I can respect, that's the champ. And right now, they always talked about Daniel Bryan, that he was a B player. Well, what does that make Jey Uso?
He's probably a B player. He's probably the guy, this is a feel-good story for a couple months, maybe till SummerSlam, maybe till a little bit later in the year. But I don't think he can keep this title. He can't keep it for a year. He's not. That's just not. We can't have that. We just can't. Give him his flowers. Let him have a little bit of a run. But he's got to drop that, because again, I don't see him. You're talking. He's up with the big boys now. You're up there with. Oh shoot! Where's my mouse?
Yeah, you're sitting up there holding the main championship of this era right now, the World Heavyweight Championship. And if you're you've had so far, 4 champions? You've had Seth Rollins, you've had Drew McIntyre, you've had Damian Priest, Gunther, and now 5, and Jey Uso. And I really feel like he's going to be an asterisk somewhere in there, Jey Uso was champ. I don't think he's going to be someone that's going to have a significantly long reign.
Right. And I just see, you named all those guys. Those are all dudes that I'm those guys are the big dogs. They are that guy. And I don't see, and I love Jay, but I don't think he's going to carry the title like that. So this will be interesting to see kind of what they do, especially after we'll talk about Raw a little bit more at the end. But yeah, kind of a letdown. Man, the tag team match, the New Day and the War Raiders. I mean, yeah.
You know what? This match right here could have been on SmackDown or Raw. There was nothing to it. It was you had 2 people that, the War Raiders, they're trying to be good guys, but their nature isn't good guys, right? And the New Day, they're playing bad guys, but their nature isn't bad guys. So you got 2 people in misappropriated roles. I'm sorry for all of you WWE fans, in the wrong roles. We have people that are out there right now misplaying their characters. And if they misplay their characters, it makes the match really just blah. And so New Day wins next.
Yeah. Well said, Ron. Well said. This match, man, Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Man, I love me some Naomi. I do. And she carried that match. And she did her best. She really did. You could tell, like, there was not a lot of chemistry between those two working. And I feel like, again, this is my, like, Jade Cargill, monstrous woman. She's strong and powerful, but she's awfully slow. And everything looks off. Like, nothing is fluid when she wrestles. And that puts me off. I feel like when I watch that, it's like watching Hulk Hogan. When I go back and watch old Hulk Hogan videos, I love Hulk Hogan, so I still have that bias. But when I know what I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, that's slow. That's lumbering. That's like, there's nothing. It doesn't match today's athleticism from these athletes.
Well, you're kind of doing Hulk a disservice. She's more like Andre in WrestleMania 3. Come on, man. That's more what I was seeing out there. It was like every move was predictable. It's like, Naomi, you're an athlete. Move out of the way of that punch.
which she could do. She absolutely could. But she had to carry that match. Naomi probably should have won, but I understand why they're trying to push Jade up to the top. Doesn't make sense to me, but they're trying to put Jade up to the top. And again, we've talked about it. I'm more interested in all the women coming up out of NXT.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, we'll talk about that, based on last night. But I just don't find anything appealing about her character. I see her being mid card, and that's about it. Like, I don't.
When she came over to WWE in the first place, the first thing that I thought was like, wow, they've made a big deal about her. I watched her a couple times in the other organization, but at the end of the day, I didn't really get a grasp on it because they made her kind of be like a Goldberg type person. So everything was a squash match. She comes over here and she gets in a match longer than 5 minutes, and it's like, dude, I'm ready for something else for sure.
Yeah, this was tough to watch. I think we both did not enjoy this one. Besides all the nip slips, we did enjoy that.
Didn't we go out and take pictures during the middle of this one? If you go on our social media, you'll see me and Pinky doing our things, guys. We were out there doing it. So yeah,
I think we did. But yeah, I thought I had more fun trying to be like, oh, Naomi's thing popped out again because she had to readjust herself. This match, the next match, is probably one of my favorite ones, just because, again, you already know, Jacob Fatu and LA Knight, baby. Yeah.
Have you how did you feel about the wrestling in the match?
I think it was okay. It's again, I feel like when you've got two guys with completely different styles, it is in some cases it cannot look right, especially if they don't have a lot of chemistry together. I thought overall it was still pretty fun. I'm a Fatu guy, so of course I like the ending. I like what happened. I enjoy it. I thought they pulled off some pretty good moves, even though like there were moments that didn't look quite right, just based on their styles, in my opinion. But I enjoyed the match myself.
I love Jacob Fatu. Love that dude. And this is his first WrestleMania, and I just didn't feel like he got a chance to showcase what makes him just such a badass. And it was a good match. Glad that he won it. I didn't predict that he would win it. I predicted that LA Knight would win that match. And by the way, I went 10-4 on the day and on the 2 days, and you went 11-3.
Yep.
So
Not
Pinky went. We didn't have anything on the line, but next year we will. We're gonna do something. We're gonna do something, and we'll do it live, because we'll do something like push-ups or something like that.
All right. I got
or
you,
we'll get we'll get ourselves a little belt. We'll get ourselves a Smack Talk and Raw belt, and whoever wins it gets to keep it for a year. There you go.
Ooh, I like that one. I like that one.
I like that.
So again, I love Jacob Fatu. I had fun with it. I think I get a feeling for what you're talking about of like it would have been really awesome to see him just whoop that ass.
Yeah.
But if he whoops that ass, then it makes LA Knight look really bad. And they've been trying to do a job of lifting him up and making him a big player. They've been doing it pretty slow, but I think they've got him where if you throw him in with any of the big boys, I think it's still a good match. So I just.
Are you referring to Jacob Fatu?
No, like LA Knight. Like you can't have LA Knight get his ass whooped. Like he's got to put on at least a decent show. It couldn't have been like a quick 5-minute match.
But that's where the continuity of the realism, right? You got somebody like Braun Strowman that's BAF, right? When he's out there on the thing, he is believable that he is a giant and that you got to find a way to kick his ass. So Jacob Fatu kicked his ass. How come he couldn't kick LA Knight's ass?
I guess that's true. That's true. And again, I love Fatu, buddy. Fatu.
I hate you so long.
Coast to coast, post to post. I think we decided that this was a match you go and get popcorn and drinks. El Grande Americano and Ray Phoenix. I enjoy I know Ray got hurt, unfortunately, so Ray had to pull out. Ray Phoenix took his place. I feel like we had a luchador match at WrestleMania because of the AAA purchase. And they were we're going to showcase this. We also have a show now, June 7th. Earlier in the day, it's the AAA Worlds Collide. In the evening, it's Money in the Bank from the Intuit Dome in LA, right? So there's a way for them to show their sponsorship of AAA. Not a bad match overall. It was nice to see Ray Phoenix get his first WrestleMania match because, again, he was not originally going to be on the card. This kind of happened just because Ray got hurt on Saturday. But it was fun to see that moment that he got in. But it went how we thought, right? We thought El Grande Americano was going to pull out the win. It's too early to pull that mask off of Chad Gable or possibly Chad Gable. So what did you think of it?
Well, at this point in the first night of WrestleMania, what I got present to while we were all together was how dead the audience was. At this point, and I want to say this. Anybody that's watching this, whether it be now or in the future, the build up to WrestleMania, you go back and look at any WrestleMania. You look at Hogan and Andre, you go and look at Brett and Shawn, you go look at Triple H and The Undertaker, anything that happened during those WrestleManias, those were the lead stories, but then all the other stories had little segments that went on with it as well. And so the reason why the crowd was so dead is because I'm not invested in El Americano fighting against Ray Phoenix. This is something I should be watching at a house show to get warmed up for it. I don't have no juice in the game for this possibility that Chad, obviously under the mask, it looks like Chad Gable, so it probably is him. There's no payoff in that. So if you're a wrestling fan, that's why we watch the thing, is because we suspend reality for a minute. And it's like, well, is that Chad Gable or is that Rey Mysterio? Like, I'm not sure because they have a full body thing on it. I can't quite tell. But in this case, I can kind of tell, I'll go along with storyline. I can kind of tell what's going on. But the thing that we need to do is get to Triple H and say, you need to stop being so freaking cocky about your booking and thinking that you're AEW and that you can put on a wrestling match that's going to make up for your lack of build. It doesn't work for those guys. It definitely doesn't work at WWE.
Yeah, we only had I think it was El Grande Americano came out about a month before WrestleMania. Right. So it was a very short build-up, and I'm assuming that's around the times we started getting those rumors that WWE was going to buy, or TKO was going to buy AAA. Is around that time. So this made perfect sense, right? We have a luchador match. We bought the company over the weekend. Now we're showing luchadors, which I'm assuming we'll get more of. And Triple H has said that he loves luchador wrestling. He's a big fan of it. So it just didn't have the build. We weren't invested in it. I do like that El Grande Americano cheats. I love that. I think that's fun, right? Because it's different. Not a lot of luchadors cheat, right? There's not a lot of heels in. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of heels in luchador wrestling. There just has to be a lot of great wrestlers that do a lot of cool stuff. Overall, they showcase each other's talents really well. They're fast-paced matches. They bring the energy, and we didn't feel that from this one, obviously. So,
yeah, man. So far on night one of WrestleMania, we are kind of like, that's why I'm wearing my Bootio shirt for night one. So continue.
We were definitely not feeling it. I mean, we were having a good time together. Yes. But we may not have been enjoying what was happening on the screen as much. Then we had Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair. And I don't think it was an amazing match, but I did enjoy this match. I could see that they put together. I do think they don't like working with each other. And I do think that leads to some of the issues with the chemistry. But I do think they both really put it on the line. And it turned out to be an okay match. Nothing you're going to write home about. Nothing we're going to talk about this years from now. But I thought it was pretty darn good overall. Ron, what did you think?
I agree with you as far as the match. It was good. When I look back on what Rhea Ripley and Charlotte did 2 years ago at WrestleMania 39, that was definitely one of those matches that was an outstanding match. This match was really good.
Crazy, right? Crazy. What about the outcome? What did you feel about the outcome of the match? Because I know we were both a little shocked. We both picked Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, we did. Bravo to Triple H to keep the title on the younger one and let them develop. I think that if he would have given her the opportunity to chase for a while, get the crowd behind her, and be able to be a person that's like, okay, she was a savage and getting back. She could have become like a Liv Morgan, because that's exactly what turned Liv Morgan from to like superstar, is the fact that she persevered. Tiffany Stratton hasn't had to persevere over anything.
I know, man. She's been in the company a year. She already got the championship on her back. She beat Charlotte Flair. She beat her clean. And again, good match. I think they both did a pretty damn good job. My thought was, and I think we had talked about it, that we felt like Tiffany needed to chase, whereas in Charlotte's already the big dog, right? Charlotte gets the belt. You throw anybody in the ring with Charlotte, and it's probably going to be a pretty good match. It's probably going to be a pretty good lead up, a build to the match. And we just didn't have that in this. So,
night one.
Yeah, it wasn't looking good. It definitely wasn't looking good. And then we got the triple threat match to end the night, which, again, all three of these entrances were pretty awesome. You're a big CM Punk guy. You had to have a great time with CM Punk coming out to actually Living Color playing their song.
Oh man,
that was WrestleMania for him.
Yeah, that was dope. The entrances were way too long though. That's the as much as I loved it, you have Roman Reigns. What was it? 4 hours and 2 minutes for him to get to the ring. No, I'm just kidding. It was like 17 minutes for him to get into the ring, fully into the ring, and then they did the whole Punk setup of when he was younger, when he was older, and doing the whole thing, and then Living Colors singing him to the ring, and then him and Paul Heyman doing their thing, and then they trot down to the ring. Then they're looking at each like by the time they got to the actual fight, it was almost a half an hour until the first fight.
They were definitely trying to get their money's worth out of it, right? But thankfully, it was still a really good match. Really good match.
It was. The only thing that I look back on on making that the main event of WrestleMania night one, there was nothing at stake. So it diminishes the world title picture when the world title, either the women's world title or the men's world title, doesn't finish up the night. So I don't know what the intention was for Triple H to book it like that, because at the end, there's no payoff. Yes, Paul Heyman, he breaks his alliances with CM Punk and Roman Reigns. I get it. That was totally predictable. Totally predictable. So at the end of the day, those people that were at WrestleMania night one that spent a boatload of money on night one got really, I don't know, I'm calling promotions and said, hey, I need a little bit of a kickback on this one, because that was crazy. Like, there was nothing in it for the fan. There was no lead up. And another thing that was missing in night one, and you'll get what I'm saying, guys, as you're listening to this, there were no backstage promos. None, not one, zero. So there was no anticipation of somebody going to the ring and then all of a sudden, like, you know what? I'm going to kick his ass and I'm going to do something and I'm going to blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I can't wait to get to the ring. We'll be back with you right to the ring. And then they go to the ring and now they're taking that energy to the ring. There was none of that. So it was like everything was just like all of a sudden, boom. And I don't remember if last year at WrestleMania 40, if that was the same thing that happened then, because I was there and I haven't watched WrestleMania 40 back. But if they're going away from doing the backstage vignettes and everything like that to get people bought into it, it says that they're going away from what makes people excited about wrestling in the first place. And that's the storyline, the true storyline.
Right. Right. We want to be invested in the characters. We want to be invested in their success, their failures, their pain, their success, their joy. And, in some cases, they haven't done a good job of that. I definitely understand what you mean by not really having anything at stake. That is absolutely something when you think about it. Like, Seth Rollins won main event night one. What did he get? Right? He got Paul Heyman, I guess. He won that. Paul Heyman sided with him. So I guess he got the wise man. So that's cool. But I still really enjoyed that. Thankfully, we had that. If we had not had that main event and it go like it did, and I think it had a satisfying ending, night one would have been just, oh my God, we would have we've been like, do we come back for night two? Like what? And I love like what you said, all the people that paid a boatload of money for that, I'd have been pretty upset. Like I would have walked out of Allegiant Stadium being like, damn, I paid X amount for that ticket. And I got to see my boy Fatu win. If you're a Tiffy guy, you got to see Tiffy, keep the title. And then, of course, you got to see, Roman, Seth, and CM Punk, which are all headlining guys. You got to see them together. And other than that, what did we really get that night, right?
What did we really get, right? There was no real payoff. And the tickets weren't going for cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like the lowest ticket when they were first starting into that was like, what, $800, $900 to get in the door. Now, on the night of, they were cheaper, but like the initial onset was $800, $900. And that's 7 months out. And you're like, okay, they're going to put something better than WrestleMania 4. Anyway, this is turning so far into WrestleMania 27. You guys want to go back and watch a snoozer, go back and watch WrestleMania 27. So that's night one.
So hopefully, Ron, after night one, and Triple H says he takes a lot of notes and he likes to learn and he likes to study. Hopefully he learned a couple things from this. And I know he pays attention to what people say, and people were not happy about WrestleMania 41 overall. So night two, thankfully, was pretty damn good.
Yes.
And I know we had a great time night two.
Yes, night two was outstanding.
Night two, the energy was there. The passion was there. Thank God for Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and even Bianca Belair, even as much as I don't like her. Those three women put on a hell of a match. And it's recency bias when we say, oh, maybe that's a top 10 of all time. I feel like you could at least have it in the conversation. Like, it was that good. Back and forth. When the triple threat matches, when all three women are involved and they're going at it all at the same time, you don't have just one woman on the outside resting as the other two are fighting and then they switch places. Like, no, this was all three of them all the time.
All the time.
Fantastic. You know, when I love the shot of Rhea Ripley leaving, and she is like, you can see she's in pain. She is tired. Like, when you see that, you know they put everything they had into that match, and they really did. It showed. Hats off to those ladies. I feel like that was the best match of WrestleMania.
Yeah, so you were talking about, like, it's hard to say a match WrestleMania and top 10. I've watched every single one of these matches multiple times. This match right here will stand the test of time for any match that was in WWE history, because those women not only put on a performance, they had a long performance. They had like 25 minutes in the side of that match or something like that, 15 to 25 minutes. And they held the energy. They held the competitive spirit. They told the story. You have a champion that doesn't speak English very well, right? And people were losing their mind when she won the title, as if they had the, like, what they loved was the underdog champion. The underdog champion that was out there, like, being disrespected week after week, like, get out of our face, what have you. And she stood up for herself and she kicked ass, but they all shined in the match. And that was the great thing about it. I went to WrestleMania 20, and at WrestleMania 20, you had Shawn Michaels versus Triple H versus Chris Benoit. And honestly, that was one of the best matches I've ever seen in my entire life. And it was that caliber of a match.
I actually felt like this was the one that the build and the story and everything came together, and we got that in the match. Like, they told that story, and I loved it. I didn't realize how much I like Io Sky. I know, like, when I remember when she jumped off the cage with the trash can on her head, I was like, oh shit, that's cool. Like,
right.
I like that, because that's something you haven't seen before. So I really enjoyed that. From there, I've kind of paid attention, and I love the quirky nature that she speaks okay English, but not great. I love the, when she does this and she's got the smile on her face, and you can just tell she loves wrestling. She's the genius of the skies. She's always flying. She's just really enjoyable to watch and root for. And because she was the underdog, right? We had and that's probably what I didn't understand from the beginning, when we thought Bianca and Rhea were on a collision course. And then they threw this curveball of adding Io Sky in. And now we've got this Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. It worked really well at the end of the day. It really came together well. All of it made sense. And I do think that the crowd was behind Io because of that disrespect. She was the underdog. We already know Bianca and Rhea are top dogs, and they can put on top dog matches with anybody they're in the ring with. They can be, they can be dominant in the ring with anybody they get in with. And then you've got the underdog that comes in as champ and holds her own throughout the entire match and then pulls out the win. So just amazing. I was, thank God we got that. If it was a lame match starting off night 2, I may have drank a lot more than I did.
One of the cool things about this is that the story, right? So Rhea Ripley, she took a loss, which is not her first loss at WrestleMania. She's actually had a couple of those. Bianca Belair took her first WrestleMania loss, so she's now 4-1. And Io Sky, she's 1-1 on her quest. So those girls can go and fight a bunch of times, because Rhea Ripley has never beaten Io Sky.
Right.
That's another part to the story. So it makes her championship reign so much more powerful because people recognize Rhea Ripley as one of the best, if not the best, in the division in regards to women's wrestling right now.
Right. She's the eradicator for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you saw, there was backstage video afterwards, and Rhea is coming up, and I'm not sure exactly who she's talking to, but she's talking to someone, and then you see Bianca Belair come over, and they hug each other, and that just shows again mutual respect. We put it out there. We did such a great job together. Thank you. And to me, that's part of being that professional of, like, yeah, we can tell the story that we don't like each other, all that, but at the end of the day, we respect each other as performers, and I really like that.
Yeah, it's outstanding. Outstanding.
So,
Bravo, girls. Bravo. I look forward to seeing you guys at the top of the list sometime here soon. Not the top, but definitely in the top 20 for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, absolutely. And then we had another banger. The next match, the Sin City Street Fight with Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest.
So good.
How cool was it for Damian Priest to have Slayer playing, the lead guitarist of Slayer playing music for him on his way down to the ring? And then those two dudes, man, like, they also put it on, and they took some crazy bumps in that match that made me go, whoa, like, these guys are going for it. And of course, hey, tables.
Selfies.
Dude, Robert was talking about, we need to get that on a t-shirt, bro. Still bored at work. And that picture.
I'm sure that somebody's already got like multiple copies of those shirts going around. Yeah,
we need to get that. We need to make that happen, because that was hilarious. Because yes, exactly right. Still bored at work. That fantastic, man. I thought this match was really entertaining, a lot of fun. Maybe not on that same level as the women's match, but still really damn good, and got us. At that point, we are feeling pretty damn good now after that match. So I appreciate both of those boys. I love McIntyre. I do like Priest too. I have a thing for the really big, gigantic guys who actually are athletic and can really wrestle as well. They're just not big.
When he does that leap over the top rope and he makes it look so effortless, he looks like a cruiserweight when he's going over the ropes, and that's just so outstanding. And further, with regards to this match, had the matches been switched, the girls versus them going opposite directions, we could be potentially talking about the boys match being a top 20 contender. But because they went opposite, the first match was just so good. The second match, it was hard to follow.
Absolutely. And again, the bar had been set pretty high at that point. So, God, great match. Loved it. Then we followed it up with the Fatal 4-Way match, which not as good, but I felt like it was still a pretty damn good match. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And again, we predicted the outcome, right? That Dom would pin Finn Balor for the win. He did. Braun Breaker looked good. Penta had his moments. Everybody got to show off their moves. It's just good. They all had pretty good chemistry together. Like, everything looked really good in that match. So
it was a good lucha libre type match. And again, to your point, with the Worlds Collide pay-per-view coming up, they changed styles a little bit inside of the ring, and it's a different format. But if you're going to start to introduce your audience to this format, then you got to kind of go in a little bit, and that's what this match represented a little bit.
But again, in a match like that where Dom, Finn, and Penta have those kind of moves, Braun Breaker held his own. And he has some of those moves, but he has some of those moves with power as well. Like, awesome. They did such a good job.
Such a good job.
So again, we're just like, bam, banger. We were feeling really good. We're like, man, this is awesome. Congrats to Dirty Dom. We'll see how long they let him roll with that. I thought this was actually good because, based on what happened last night, we see where Braun Breaker is going. So he's changing where he's at. So this all worked out really well. Logan Paul and AJ Styles.
Mm.
Oh wait, hold on. Before that, it was really small because it didn't last long. Randy Orton and Joe Hendry. Sorry.
So this is another fumble by Triple H. And after the WrestleMania went off and I was cleaning up and all the things, when I say this person, you're going to know what I'm talking about. They missed out on a big pop. There was two people that they missed out on. Number one person would have been Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy comes, Allegiant Stadium just blows off the top because of the fact that everybody loves Jeff Hardy. But the main one that they would have blown off the top of Allegiant Stadium, and it would have been an incredible match and a great way to retire this individual, is Goldberg. Because taking the story back to when Goldberg busted open Randy Orton, no, it was actually Brock Lesnar, but Goldberg's looking for a retirement match, bringing him back in that moment and having to suspend, like, is Goldberg going to win or is Randy Orton going to win or whatever? It's neither here nor there if Goldberg would have won. But Joe Hendry, 98% of the audience had no idea who Joe Hendry was.
I mean, he got a pretty good pop. For the folks who did know who he was, he got a decent pop. The only thing I would push back on that one, Ron, I think that actually is a damn good idea, but I feel like they'd want to market Goldberg's last match more, right? Because I think if we're looking at the card and we're like, okay, Randy Orton's fighting someone, we don't know who, we might go to the bathroom. We might go grab a drink, right? We may not be like overly like worried about catching that match. So that's where I see like, hey, like if it's Goldberg's last match, they really want to market that thing. I thought this was okay. This gave Joe Hendry more eyeballs. His contract with TNA is up in less than 12 months. I would be shocked if he doesn't come to WWE. I mean, even Triple H told him, hey, we'll see you again. Like he's coming over. So this was a way for him to come out, get some exposure. Randy still gets to win. I don't know if Randy's in form yet to have a long match like that. So maybe that's why this was a perfect opportunity. If they both got a couple moves in, Randy shuts the door with the RKO. Good night. Move on to the next match, right? So that's
just like what we're going to do right now.
Moving on. Logan Paul and AJ Styles. What'd you think?
I love them both, but AJ Styles is going to be 48 years old coming up here in October. Logan Paul, he's flawless in the ring. He does everything with so little effort. Go ahead and strap a rocket ship to him and find a way to get the world title on him as quickly as possible and let him be the flag bearer for WWE for a while because he is that good. He is that good.
Yeah, I don't think it's long before he's got one of those belts on his. And in fact, I might call it out now. He's taking the belt from Uso. He's taking the belt from Jay. Like they need to put him on that path. Logan Paul's matches are fantastic. He is amazing. I think a lot of the locker room doesn't like Logan Paul because here's the new guy who came in and everything is so easy for him. His ability to have people not like him and be the heel and get that heat is so effortless for him. He's just being himself, right? And he gets it, and he can do things that a lot of people can't do, which again always breeds jealousy as well. What I will say I loved a lot. That drone was dope.
Oh my gosh, that was dope.
That was dope.
He catches the drone and then he sits it in the corner and is like, incredible.
And that is something different. That is something new, something we hadn't seen before. And that's really one of the things that I'm like, wow, he continues to, change the game. And love or hate him as a person, if you don't enjoy watching his matches, I can't help you, man. I really can't because like they're fantastic.
Yeah, I'm really good with that. The thing I didn't like and I'm confused with, and it just kind of feels like it got in the way of the match, is the Karrion Kross thing. Karrion Kross just coming out and being like, AJ, use these brass knuckles. He would use them, and we need you to use them, and all this sort of stuff. That character development is stupid. Like whatever Triple H is trying to do to build up with Karrion Kross and AJ Styles is just going to result in them having a match with each other where AJ Styles is going to win. And where's the freaking payoff?
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Like, and I haven't seen Karrion Kross wrestle enough lately to really make it any like worth paying attention to.
Right.
Really. So then we had the women's tag team title match with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And my girl Liv, she is pushing the boundaries every week of how little can I wear out to the ring. I don't know if you caught it out there on Twitter, Ron, but there was multiple pictures of her in different positions where you can see more than a little bit coming out of those tights. So they were a little tight on her. And so anybody out there that cares to look, they're out there on Twitter. You can find them really easy. You're welcome.
You dirty WWE fans, I see it.
Oh man, the still photos that they put, I appreciate the hard work.
Drop me a DM and I'll tell you where the real good stuff is. Anyway, go ahead.
They do it so I don't have to. So we have Lyra Valkyria come down. She's okay, man. I don't get the Lyra hype. Her woo is kind of fun, but other than that, I don't find her very entertaining myself. Now we had all kind of thought Becky Lynch is in Vegas. Becky Lynch was there night one. Easy enough for Becky Lynch to step in and do the match, right? And sure enough, Becky Lynch comes out. The pop was gigantic. She didn't have to do a whole lot in the match, which again, she hadn't been in there in over a year. So we'd expect that there'd be some ring rust. And I think that's why they probably didn't have her get involved as much. And then of course, they did finish and win the belts that night. It was okay. Like I thought, again, Becky Lynch coming out was probably the best part of it because you're like, okay, the man is back. And I feel like we've missed her a little bit. The man is back. What did you think, my man?
I don't have any disagreement with you on any of it. Rumors circulating around for the last couple of weeks or so is that actually we'll wait until Raw and I can talk to you more about that when we get to the Raw recap and everything like that, because a lot of things that are happening make sense as you get into the future. But again, it was lazy booking because, like, check this out. Bayley got hurt. So do Bayley and Becky have beef now because Bayley took her spot and then they ended up losing the titles? Like, you got to tie up all these ends, right? You can't just leave Bayley got screwed out of a title opportunity. They win the title. It's like, okay, what happens to Bayley now? She comes back and she's just okay with it all. Like, how is that all going to play out?
I feel like Bayley now is eating shit like the Miz is eating shit for the last couple of years, where they lifted her up, they got her to the top, then they brought her down, and now she's just mid. Like, and that's all she's doing right now. And she'll win a couple here, she'll lose a couple there. The matches are usually pretty good. She puts on a good show, but I don't know if they have any plans to really put her back up top anytime soon. So
yeah, they put the title on her last year, and now they're mixing it up. And with what they have coming up out of NXT, holy smokes! But we'll get to that in a minute. Next.
All right. So then we had the main event, Cody Rhodes and John Cena. And I think this is where most of the controversy has come from. This is where most folks are a little unsatisfied. So what are your thoughts?
So at Elimination Chamber, John Cena sold his soul to The Rock. And for a month and a half and beyond, there's no Rock. So the story doesn't make sense. You get Travis Scott coming out and doing a thing with helping John Cena, but Travis Scott is about what, 142 pounds soaking wet? What
If
kind of
that.
impact is, yeah, what kind of impact is he really making? And the match with John and Cody, John lumbered around the ring. He wasn't the John Cena of old. He was a lot of chokeholds, a lot of near pins from doing his attitude adjustments. He did 4 of them during the match. The referee got knocked out, typical fashion. He said he wanted to destroy wrestling, and right now I would agree with him.
Maybe not in the same way he was talking about, but yeah, I agree with everything you said. The whole Rock thing just pisses me off. Like, to have him come out and be this big part of John Cena turning heel, and then to completely disappear, and then go on the Pat McAfee show today and say, basically make everything about him. Well, I wasn't going to be at Elimination Chamber, but Ari called me and said sales were down and they needed the hype. So I came in to do some stuff. But then I wanted to make John winning 17 about him and not be involved. And I'm like, but you became a big part of the story, and then you went into limbo. And now we don't have any answers about why were you there? Why the hell is Travis Scott involved? Why, besides his theme song was the theme song of WrestleMania, other than that, why is Travis Scott in two moments of WrestleMania history or wrestling history? John Cena turning heel, and then John Cena winning 17 at WrestleMania. Why is he here? Besides that connection to stars and making it, again, I can see certain things of making it fun. Hey, Travis Scott likes wrestling. I like Travis Scott. Maybe I'll like wrestling. I see those things. And this goes back to Cyndi Lauper, right? Back in the day when Cyndi Lauper helped, sensationalize wrestling. Oh, Cyndi Lauper's out there wrestling and having fun, and she's a manager and she's all that. Mr. T and Mike Tyson. And so it's been a thing in the past, but to have Travis Scott come in and become such an integral part of this story, and then The Rock is nowhere to be found. I hate that. It pisses me off. I love The Rock. I loved his final boss character. I love when he came in and we started getting that. I want your soul. I can give you things that nobody can give you. I'm the boss here at TKO. I can make things happen for you. You will never want for anything again. You'll just have it. Come on, Cody Rhodes. And then to have that just basically go by the wayside because he doesn't show up at all. His Pat McAfee today was just awful. Pretty mad about that. Most of this match, you're absolutely right. John Cena's kind of lumbering. They slowed the match down a lot, right? You've got him going outside the ring. You got him coming back. You got, everything was slow. Everything was measured. And again, Cena's no spring chicken, right? He can't go hard for 20 minutes.
For 15, 20 minutes, right?
They had to slow it down. I get it. I thought they did as best they could at that pace. And again, I like the ending. I like the fact that John Cena cheated to win. He needed to cheat to win. Because he was never going to get the same pop and moment that Cody Rhodes got last year.
Right.
Cody Rhodes finishing his story is a moment we'll always remember, right? We'll remember everybody out there in the ring cheering, almost breaking kayfabe.
Dude, I was there. It was an incredible moment. Tears out of most people's eyes in the audience and stuff like that. It was incredible.
Right. You don't see that. You don't see all the guys from the locker room down there cheering, having a good time, celebrating, right? That's a moment that we'll remember. John Cena had to cheat to win to make this a memorable moment because he's won 16 titles in all different ways, right? A lot of them the same, though. This is different. He won 17 in a different way. And now he can continue on his path of ruining wrestling. But unfortunately, if we keep getting matches like that, and again, it's all about the story. We still don't know why he sold his soul to The Rock. What are the ramifications of him doing that? What benefits does he get from doing that, right? Because we could have just had him change his character just based on I'm fed up with the fans. I'm fed up with being the good guy. I'm fed up on playing by your rules. I want to play by my rules. After 25 years, I want to do what I want to do. That's easy, right? He can tell that story. It's believable. The Rock doesn't have to be a part of that, right? Once you brought The Rock in without having him in the story, now it seems like we're only getting half the story.
Yeah, that's a colossal F up right there, because at the end of the day, for the not just the lay fan, because the lay fan, they don't understand any better, but for a traditional wrestling fan, this story makes no sense at all. And so it will turn people off entirely. And the other organization, AEW, is terrible at telling storylines. But if they have good wrestling versus bad storylines, which is what WWE presented on its biggest show of the year, that's what happens. That's the reason why I'm wearing my Bootio shirt, because if I'm looking at what my overall grade is for WrestleMania 41, it's 5.5. And it's definitely in the lower fourth quadrant of WrestleManias ever.
Which is sad, because I think as night 2 was going, we were feeling so good that, hey, this is going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Everything's going to work out well. And then just with that whole ending, that story, the redeeming quality to me was Cena cheated to win. Because that's what I truly felt like had to happen. He couldn't beat Cody clean. He couldn't beat the crap out of Cody. It had to be he cheated to win. Because that continues helping his character down the road. So hopefully next year in NOLA it's better. We'll see. But this is a sad ending to WrestleMania 41. But at least I had a good time with my friends and family. So it brought us together. All right, we've got a couple minutes to run down Raw as quickly as possible. Let's start with my stream was messed up last night. I don't know if it happened to you. When I tried watching it, it started immediately with Liv and Raquel against Becky and Lyra. And then when I went out and started it back over, it started over with Jey Uso. And then my whole stream was messed up. I missed I didn't see the whole Cena thing. I had to come back later this morning and watch Cena. And Cena and then Randy Orton come out. So everything was kind of messed up for me on my stream. But Liv and Raquel getting the titles back was weird to me. Because then I was like, wait, why did you let Becky and Lyra win them in the first place if you were just going to take them back off?
Right.
And then for Becky to start beating the crap out of Lyra, I don't see what Becky gets out of it, right?
Bad booking. It was one of those things to Becky comes back last night or on Sunday night. She comes back, wins the title. Yay. I lose the title. Boo. Let me cry myself a river. And now I'm going to beat up Lyra. It doesn't make any sense from a booking perspective yet. Let them build some momentum with each other. Like, we're the champions for a minute, whatever, or I hated you. We went to Dairy Queen and you ate my smoothie or whatever. Something. There was nothing.
Her beating up Lyra was just like her punching down, in my opinion. Like, Becky Lynch is a main eventer. She's one of the top dogs. I would not say Lyra's even in that category. So what good is her beating Lyra down? Like, do we have interest in a Becky Lynch Lyra match? I don't. Right? I want Becky Lynch going back after Rhea and Bianca and Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton and Liv Morgan, and I want all of those matches. Alexa
Stephanie
Bliss.
Vaquer and Stephanie Vaquer.
So best part of that match, was just I like Liv a lot, so her winning the belt back makes me feel good. But when we had Stephanie Vaquer show up. And I'm going to tell you, like, I'm not all about this.
All of it.
But that booty is dope. And every time I see her do her finishing move and Booker T is going, yep.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I
Yeah.
get it, Booker
Yeah.
T.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how I feel too. My wife saw that and she was like, I know why you like her. So Stephanie Vakir came out. Then we had Roxanne Perez come out. And then we
And
had Juliana come out as well.
Julia
come out as well. Like, I was like, oh snap! Like, this is dope. So I feel like the one thing about it, NXT, like, I feel like these women have almost been in NXT, like they've worn out their welcome now. They are
Yeah.
ready for the main card. They're ready to come up. Let's get them up. Hopefully we will get that soon. I know Stephanie Vakir and Roxanne are wrestling tonight at NXT. So we'll see how that goes. Those are great, these ladies are great, man. Stephanie Vakir is
Yeah.
awesome. Like, she's
Yeah.
main card ready. Like, there's
Yeah.
no reason to keep her down at NXT anymore.
And another two people that need to come up is Obafemi and Trick Williams.
Right. Both of them.
Those
Fantastic.
Those guys are ready.
Absolutely. Let's see, what else did we have last night? Of course, we had Randy Orton coming out and surprise RKOing John Cena. That's fun. We had already talked about that since they were already on the promotional material for Backlash. We already made that connection that most likely they'd have a match. Give Randy Orton a chance at 15, I believe. It'd be his 15th if he wins. I believe that's what the rest of this year for John Cena will be. Will be defending the title against the top guys, and hopefully beating them, right? John Cena shouldn't lose the title till the end of the year, or maybe he shouldn't lose it at all for his character, right? I think you made the idea at one point that he doesn't lose at all, he quits, and then for Royal Rumble, the winner of the Royal Rumble is the champ. Like, I love that idea. That hasn't been done in a while, so I like that a lot. Gunther attacking Pat McAfee.
Okay. It didn't have as much power for me because of the fact that he tapped out on Jey Uso like so quick. So okay, I lost the match and you talk trash. So now I'm gonna punish you, announcer boy.
And I don't know where they're gonna go with that. I don't know if they're gonna, like, maybe Pat McAfee gets a match against Gunther at Backlash. Maybe. I like Pat McAfee in the ring. I think he does a pretty damn good job. I love that he came to Michael Cole's aid, right? When Michael Cole was about to get busted up, he comes and jumps and gets Gunther. And then Gunther put a pretty damn good choke on him, man. Like, even Hannah was watching and she was like, I've watched UFC long enough. That choke's pretty good. She felt bad for McAfee because it was pretty good choke. Like, he was definitely feeling it, and maybe they played that. I'm assuming Pat said, "Hey, make it look real, right? Get it in there."
He's like, "All right,"
but he definitely went a little too far because, I mean, you could tell, or Pat was selling it really well. One of the two.
Yep.
So, anything else from Raw?
So Penta losing to Dominic Mysterio clean was not a good look. Penta is a superstar. Dominic, I get it. He's the new champion. You want to make him look strong, but you can't make Penta look weak in the experience because now Penta's lost 2 matches in a row, and it's going to take him a long time to recycle to start getting that moment. You watch, Penta's not going to have as much steam when he comes out because now he's lost twice in a row. And when he comes out the next time, his entrance, which is fire, when he comes out is and then he has the cool walk and everything like that. I mean, that's better than the yeet in my opinion, because everybody's trying to like be cool like Penta, right? But you done had him lose twice now, so how does he come back from that?
I think they'll still do a pretty good job, and maybe this is what's next, because again, the finale of the show was Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman coming out and discussing things. And then, of course, CM Punk comes out, Roman Reigns comes out, and Seth Rollins is beating that ass. I loved it. Loved every moment of it. And then we had the surprise of the night. Who shows up?
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker now, which is funny because I watched Heyman on the Pat McAfee show earlier in the day, and he was doing a great job of selling everything. And the guys asked him if they were going to be like, if anybody else was going to join them, and he was like, "Oh, I've got some guys in mind. I think they'll have a little bit of beef, right? Braun Breaker's got a little bit of beef, right? It's totally matched up, and it makes all the sense in the world. And I think this to me, this part was really, really good, because Braun Breaker is ready for like that next step now of getting up to the big dogs, right? He's played that kind of mid character for a little bit. He's wrestled some of the kind of mid guys, and now he's ready for that next level. And this is the way to get him to that next level. I like that.
So one of the things that I really wish they would have done with this changeover is not done it on the night after WrestleMania. Paul Heyman should have said, you know what, CM Punk and Roman Reigns, I know you guys are pissed off and everything like that, but I have an equalizer for you guys. And they kind of play it up for a while. And then all of a sudden they're going to have a match against each other, very similar to when the NWO got started. And then they have because I think ultimately what the plan is for this group is for it to be John Cena, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Becky Lynch, all Paul Heyman guys and girls coming together to make this the four horsemen of Paul Heyman.
Yeah, I'm hoping, I'm assuming Becky Lynch is going to join in. I'd love that, right? Now she's a heel, kind of have her join the group, and then we'll see where else, who else will join and get in the group. This should be fun. I'm excited for that. I am excited to get away from the bloodline story. Yes. I was kind of done with that. I think it ran its course. It did what it needed to do. It really brought eyes to the company. The stock prices went up. Roman ruled. It was interesting for a while, and then it really kind of leveled out and lost steam. It was just probably a year too long, but I'm excited for where we're going from there. So hopefully,
and it'll be cool to watch CM Punk and Roman Reigns be in a team together, because that's what that's leading to.
That could be interesting. And again, I kind of like where Roman's character is going. And CM Punk is probably, I think CM Punk will get a shot at Cena this year somewhere, maybe SummerSlam. We know there's going to be a lot of matches that they have to build for SummerSlam. So we should see a lot between now and, what is that, August? Yeah, I think that's August. And we have Money in the Bank in June 7th. So, all right, partner, I think we should probably finish it up. So, thank you again, my man. You're such a great, gracious host. I loved every second of hanging out with you for 2 nights. And I can't wait to do it some more.
That's right. And guys, we're bringing kidney awareness to everybody on our podcast, just letting everybody know that there's people out there. There's about 100,000 people that are currently on the waiting list to get a kidney donation of some sort, whether it be from a deceased or a living donor. Living donor kidneys are so much better for individuals that are looking for transplantation. If you need more information with regards to how to do so, or to find out more information, go to thekidneyfoundation.org and just check it out. There's a bunch of information about it. For the right person, you have the availability to change someone's life. Someone did it for me, and hopefully you might want to do it for someone else. So that's what we got there. Pinky, let's take it out.
All right, guys. Hey, like, comment, subscribe. Keep an eye out. We are going to be starting our own Smack Talking Raw Facebook page to be able to connect with everybody, so we can have those conversations anytime you want. So please do that. And if you don't like it, do it because Pinky freaking said so.
And if you don't do it, we got 2 words for you. Suck it.
We out.
See you soon.
Love y'all.
Love y'all.